Hi guys, and welcome back to Tangy Tea of Life. I'm your host Veronica. Brittany could not be with us tonight, but we have a very special guest sitting at the table tonight, Mr. Keith Coffin, aka my husband. Hi.
Hey, baby.
How are you?
I'm good. What?
I'm just saying. Hey.
Hey, baby.
Welcome to Tangy Tea of Life. You sipping some tea with me tonight. Welcome to the show, finally.
Finally.
Glad to have you here with us. Well, here with me tonight. Guys, tonight we're going to be talking about children living in poverty and also bullying. Because there's so much of that going on these days. My husband, he's actually in the school system, police officer, so he sees a lot. But first we're going to talk about his childhood. You had a difficult childhood growing up, so we just want you to tell us your story, and then we'll get more into bullying.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with my mother. She was a wonderful woman. She did a lot for us, me and my brother, Javon. He's actually a police officer too in Darlington. We had to move from shelter to shelter. I'm not saying nothing wrong with my family and all that stuff, but we did move from shelter to shelter. I think it was because my mother had a lot of pride, so she wanted to do everything for herself. But she did take care of us, and it's many times where we had to sleep on the cold floor of the shelter. Really didn't have much to eat. It was pretty hard, but she did everything she could as a mother, as a single mother, for me and my brother. And me being the strong one, it hurt because my brother, he's older than me, but just having my mother struggle, I had to be the man, which I wasn't, not even close to it. And to this day, I'm still learning how to be the man of everything, of the house, the mouth. But just growing up in New York City, it was hard. I seen things that I shouldn't have seen, like in the elevators and the stairway, and it was hard just growing up in New York City in Brooklyn. So me growing up going from the shelter I can't exactly tell you how long we've been in the shelter for, because I don't know, but we went from shelter to my family houses and stuff. We stayed in my family houses, and then we finally moved into the projects in Brownsville, Van Dyke projects to be exact. It was rough in Van Dyke projects, just knowing that, if anybody knows about Van Dyke, it's a very rough project. My mom, she did everything she could as a mother to take care of me and my brother. She worked as hard as she could. She did everything as hard as she could. So many nights where we didn't have much to eat. And she gave us like her last. So just seeing that, I kind of, it hurts a little bit, I cry a lot. My wife don't know that. She's just finding out that. I kind of stay to myself a lot. She knows that now. And it's because of that. It's because of just, seeing, what I seen and seeing my mother go through the struggles of, trying to provide for me and my brother. She done a lot for us. She, on Christmas time, she's done, stuff that she shouldn't have done
To
get us Christmas presents, and my mother knows I love her, and she knows I'm not saying this stuff to just say it, and she wrote bounce checks, just to get us Christmas presents and stuff, and and she knew she didn't have no money, but she did anything for us, you know, to get us anything we wanted. Well, she tried to get us what we wanted. She didn't always get us what we wanted, but I was fine with that. You know, I didn't know all the other stuff, all the fancy stuff anyway, so anything she got me, I was happy with it.
So how were you and Javon, when you all started living in shelters and on the street?
How old?
Do you remember the age? Like,
we was pretty young. We was, I can, about 7 to 6. We was pretty young. We did, you know, like I said, we did stay with my grandma, aunts, uncles, but then my mother, I guess, she wanted her own. So she moved, and she went to the shelter for them to help us out, you know. So it was about 6 to 7, and then it was probably stayed in the shelter for a couple of years.
so that's why now you have a big heart when it comes to kids that's less fortunate. Like, would you like to share your story about the?
Well, just it helped me out being an adult. You know, I had a lot of anger, and I'm still getting over the anger. And so it helps me out, you know, when I help the kids and help them, because some of them are going through the same thing I've been through. So anything I can do, helping them out, I will. Like me, when I worked at elementary school, I started a program. Me and another teacher started a program at the school for, you know, kids, you know, that didn't have much, you know, families, you know. We try to start it for, you know, kids that didn't have a male figure or a male role model, I'm sorry. And it kind of worked out, you know, and I'm not saying every kid that we dealt with didn't have a male figure in the house, but it helped because they didn't have that older brother or that uncle or somebody, so they could come talk to me and other, you know, my other partner that was with me. So anything I can do to help the kids, because I work at a high school now, so anything I can do to help the kids, I do it. Like, I gave my shoes, I've bought shoes, I bought food, I bought clothes, and out of my own money, and I never, they didn't even have to ask me. I just went out and just did it. So
Because you know what it's like.
Yes.
To be in that position.
Yes. So anything I can do to help, it's fine with me. I'm still doing that to this day, and I will always be that person. You know, anything I can do to help the kids. And another thing my wife don't know, me and a few other men are talking about starting something over here in the neighborhoods. So with young men, so I can start it in the neighborhoods and not just the schools.
Yeah. Well, that'd be awesome. And speaking of the schools, because I know that is a touchy subject for you as far as, you know, growing up in poverty. And so let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the bullying that's going on in the schools. Like, we're hearing this so regularly now, where kids are taking their own lives because they're being bullied, so they feel like there's no need for them to be here on earth. So at the school, do you see a lot of that? Do you see a lot of bullying?
Yes, I do. It was more when I was in the elementary schools. Yes, I seen more bullying in the elementary schools than I did in the high schools. And I think we have more in the high schools, but they're not coming out and saying anything because they're scared of, you know, what the repercussions are going to be with, you know, the person that's bullying them.
Yeah.
The elementary schools, the kids really didn't care because they're younger, so they wasn't worried about what will happen. But the high school, you know, these kids are bigger, stronger, and they're scared to come and talk to me and the principals. So it's probably more in the high schools than I see, but it happens.
Yeah. So what do you think can stop it? I mean, because it's sad that you're hearing 10-year-olds taking their life because of being bullied at school. What do you think is going to take to stop that? Oh,
I think it'll take not just me as an officer, but the community and the parents, because a lot of these kids have young parents. I'm not saying anything's wrong with young parents, but a lot of these kids have young parents that are 20s and younger than that, and they didn't have the training as to be a parent or help to be a parent, so they let their kids just run wild. So anything that parent can do to help us deal with the situation, it's awesome. Or anything the community can do to help us with that, it'll be awesome, because the more people that talk to these young kids, the better, because I can talk to a few, but I can't talk to all the kids.
right.
And you got a few teachers that can talk to them, but they can't talk to all the kids. So anybody that in the community that can help, it'd be awesome. And we could get these kids to start listening to these older people, that'd be great.
Yeah, because I do believe that it starts at home. You need to talk to your children and let them know that bullying is not nice. Like, that is very serious, because a lot of people can't take the abuse of bullying. They can't take that pressure of being picked on. It's not like back in the day when we was in school where, someone pick at you for, your hairdo or something like that. Now it is so serious. Like, kids are really mean. So it really starts at home. Like, the parents have to sit down and tell their kids, like, you can't do that. Like, how would you feel if you go bully someone at school and then you turn around that next day and find out that they took their own life because of something that you said?
That's true.
Like, it really starts at home. And like you said, a lot of young parents, they didn't get that talk. So they don't know how to talk to their kids. So it's like a revolving door, like it's going to constantly continue. But yeah, we in the community have to help as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I do as much as I can at the schools. Kids come to my office a lot, and they do not want to talk to the principals and the teachers, and sometimes they won't even talk to their parents. They come to my office and say, "Officer Keith, can I talk to you?" And I'll sit and talk to them sometimes for hours, and they'll tell me their problems, home, even in school, and I try to do what I can. I can't do everything, but I do what I can.
Well, we appreciate you, sir. So, what advice? Well, that was some good advice. But going back to kids living in poverty, because we know a lot of kids, they go to school, the only meal that they have is at school. They don't have the nice clothes to wear. They don't have the nice shoes to wear. What advice would you give kids because of your situation growing up? You've been through it. Like, what advice would you give them that feel like, the ones that feel like there's no hope for them?
Me, I would find somebody to talk to, like your mother, your father, whoever you live with, even a teacher, and just talk to them and let them know what's going on, because they can help you. I can help, a police officer can help you, a counselor, anybody. If you hungry or you don't have the shoes, the clothes, go talk to somebody. It's better to talk to somebody and holding all that stuff in, because all that stuff that you hold in, it's gonna have to come out one day. And when it does, it's not good. But talk to somebody, always talk to somebody, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to talk to anybody, and don't worry about if you don't have the Jordans, the new Nikes and all that stuff, because I didn't have that. I had the old Jordans. My mother will tell you, I had Jordans, like the newer Jordans that came out, she waited 2 to 3 years to go get them for us when they cost like $40 to $30. And that was a lot still for her. I had shoes from Payless a lot, and to this day, honestly, I still wear shoes from Payless, and it's because I want to. I'm not going to buy them $100 and $200 pair of shoes. I did that one time, and one time only. It's because I graduated the police academy and I bought something I wanted. But right now, to this day, I will not buy the $100 shoes, the $200 shoes. You won't see me wearing them because I'm not spending my money on them shoes like that, which I can just go get me a nice pair of shoes for $50 and I'm, or a little cheaper than that, and be fine with it. They all do the same thing. I'm going to walk. I'm walking them. I'm gonna be fine. So they all do the same thing. You don't need that expensive Jordans or Nikes.
Yeah.
So don't worry about what everybody else has.
Right.
You got, as long as you got clothes and shoes and stuff like that to wear, just be happy with it. That's my advice, because that's how I was. It was hard at first, but then I grew into it. I seen it. I seen my mother, the struggle my mother was going to get that $40 pair of shoes and them $20 pair of pants or cheaper, whatever. So I looked at it like, hey, I ain't worried about what this person has over here. I'm going, and I'm just going, whatever my mom gets me, I'm happy with it. She went to the Salvation Army, thrift stores and stuff like that to get our clothes. And it looks better than some of the clothes that's everybody else wearing, and I'm happy with it. So, and I thank her for that.
Yeah.
It taught me a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And see, that's the problem with a lot of kids. Like, they're looking at what Joseph have on his feet or what Suzanne have on her feet, and they feel like if they're wearing it, then I should be wearing it too. And I don't know. I think it's like these basketball players and stuff that have these sneakers. I just feel like they're overcharging these people for these sneakers. I feel like they need to come down off their price. I mean, that's just me. I know they have to make money, but you don't have to sell your sneakers for $200.
I agree. That's why Shaq,
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal made his shoes and put them in Walmart and like places like that, because he knows people cannot afford them $200 pair of shoes. But
Yeah.
And his shoes look just as good as everybody else's.
Right.
So.
But they're Shaq.
Yeah.
They're not Jordans or, what is his name? Kyrie
Kyrie Durant, Kevin Durant, his shoes, all KD's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of kids don't know that Shaq's shoes used to be the shoes like Jordans that used to cost $150 shoes, and stuff like that. But he said he's not doing that no more. He wants to, make
it affordable for everyone, which is good.
So, if your mom buy you the Shaq shoes, be happy with them. Don't look at what everybody else is wearing. Just
right.
And that's how I look at stuff. That's how I look at life to this day, because I still shop at Payless.
I always say be a leader, not a follower. Why would you want to look like everyone else? Be you. You set the example. You be the leader. Let someone want to look like you. Well, thank you, Mr. Coffin, for sitting down with me and sipping on some tea. How was the tea?
It was great.
That's right.
I'd rather have water, but it was great.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap up Tangy Tea of Life. Once again, thanks to my husband for sitting in and talking about children living in poverty and also bullying, and hopefully we can put a stop to this bullying. And I wanted to say something about kids not eating at school, because I was reading something today that came to my news feed about some school was going to start where they have leftover lunch. They're going to start packaging it and letting the kids take the kids that don't eat at home. They was going to start letting them take food with them. That is a perfect idea I hope all the schools start that. That would be awesome, because like I said, some of these kids don't eat.
True.
So that would be amazing.
We have a few students at the high school that you can tell that their meals comes from the high school. So
Yeah. So that would be awesome if all the schools was to start that. All right, guys. So that's gonna wrap up Tangy Tea of Life. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave comments below. And if you would like to be a guest on Tangy Tea of Life, please email us at tangyteaoflife@gmail.com. Wait, is that right? No, I'm sorry. tangyteaoflife@gmail. Yeah. .com. That's right. I'm confused. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and thank you again, hubby, for coming and sitting down and having some tea with me. And I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to click the bell. Click the bell so that you can get notifications for the next video. All right, guys. Bye.